What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Spin Fuel's Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Council of Vapor Defiant tank. Alright guys, so before we get into this video, I do want to give a big shout out to the people over at Council of Vapor. They're the ones that sent me this product for the purpose of this video, so many thanks to you, big shout out. Make sure you check them out in the links in the description. So without further ado, let's go over some of these specs on this device. First of all, it is 22 millimeters in diameter. It has a 3.1 milliliter juice capacity. It's top fill with a threaded top cap, quad filling ports, and an additional O-ring seal. Utilizes vertical ceramic coils, which are 0.5 ohms within about a 0.1 ohm range. Those coils can be used at 40 to 75 watts. They're long lasting and they have purity and flavor recreation. They have 6 coil wicking ports on each coil, which is really great. No dry hits there. It has the traditional Council of Vapor spitback protection, utilizing their honeycomb kind of grid style in the drip tip, which dramatically reduces spitback. It has quad adjustable airflow, which are 7 millimeters by 2 millimeters, and can be fully closed for filling. Well-balanced profile, 47 millimeter overall height with the drip tip, and of course it has the Council of Vapor engraving on the actual chimney section itself. In the box is a Council of Vapor Defiant ceramic coil sub-ohm tank, 2.5 ohm ceramic coils, and an additional tank as well as a spare O-ring. So you get a lot for your money, and I know you guys want to know how much this thing costs. The MSRP on it is $29.99. I'm sure you can get better deals out there. Of course, I'll have a link in the description if you want to buy one of these for yourself. So that being said, let's go down to the close-up view, unbox this thing, and take a better look at it. Alright guys, so here we have the Council of Vapor Defiant tank in its original box. Let's just take a look around the box real quick, and we'll go over some of the finer details. So, as you can see, Defiant in a nice lovely silver. councilofvapor.com, their website on the edge there. Their tamper-evident seals, as well as their Facebook information and everything on this side here. Kind of hard to pick up on the camera because it is shiny and reflective, but you get the picture. And on the back, of course, the gold embellished Council of Vapor logo, and some more information there. Taking off the cover, we have our Defiant tank. Let's just put that off to the side for right now while we go over what else is in the box here. So opening it up, you see a spare coil and a spare glass piece as well, with an additional spare O-rings. So you get all the goodies for this thing. It also comes with it looks like that's the spare mouthpiece thing for the airflow in the mouthpiece. That's kind of cool. I like that they included an extra one there, since I lost mine for my vengeance. So you have their Facebook little contest thing that they always have with their products, and a quick start guide. Very, very plain and simple pictures, you know, very easy to comprehend how to fill it. And the text version on the back, again, very easy to comprehend for any newbies out there that's looking to try out this tank for the first time. But, you know, to experienced vapors, that's going to be pretty much common sense. So let's zoom in a little bit closer here, and we'll take a little better look at this thing. So first of all, we'll start from the top down and go over all of the features of this device. You have your airflow at the top here with the little rubber ring to open up the top airflow, which it's really difficult to get this little ring out. Honestly, you really can't do it without like a little pair of tweezers or something, so I just leave it in there. I don't usually use top airflow, so that's not a big deal to me, but you can probably see the little tiny holes around the top of the drip tip here, and that's going to allow for airflow in the drip tip itself. It's a nice wide bore tip, metal, which is not replaceable with your own tip, unfortunately, because it's threaded to allow for top fill. Now, I will say that that's a convenient feature, having top fill, But not being able to put your own tip on it kind of stinks. I hate to say it, but yeah, I don't like metal tips, and this tip really, 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 really has annoyed me for the past couple weeks since I've been using it. So unfortunately, that's going to be a con for me personally. As you can see here, there's where you fill it. Pretty easy to fill. It takes about, I believe it's like 3.5 mils or so of e-liquid. So there's the glass chamber. Pretty high quality glass. I think they've stepped up their game since their first couple of tanks and addies that they came out with. They definitely stepped up their game with the glass. It has a nice little bevel to it, so it's not sharp or anything like that, which is really nice. And inside the little chimney you can kind of see, hopefully you guys can kind of see the Defiant logo there. Really cool when it's all full of juice and you can see the logo on the inside chimney. Definitely a cool feature. Similar to like the 528 Customs Monster or something like that. So this is the thing you really are curious about, I'm sure, is the coil itself. This is the ceramic coil, 0.5 ohms. They recommend using it around 40 watts, I guess. No more than 40 watts, although it can handle up to about 60 watts. So let's just see if I can get a decent shot of what that coil looks like on the inside. And just gotta make sure it's gonna focus. So it might be a little hard to see. I might insert a picture or a graphic or something like that of a little bit of the inside of the coil. But as you can see, it's a little bit dark, and I've noticed that it kind of caramelizes your liquid a little bit, which normal coils don't actually do that for me. So that's something you're going to have to kind of adjust when it comes to using ceramic. Taking the coil out now, you can see it's got really a lot of juice holes on the sides there, which I have no problem with this thing wicking at all. I've never had a dry hit or anything like that. So here's the bottom piece. Let's focus there. All right, so now you can see the little pin at the bottom that connects to the coil. And this flat surface here, I gotta say, there's a really sharp ridge at the beginning of the threads right here. I just noticed it really now when I was cleaning it. Just brushing up on there with a paper towel, it just almost ripped the whole paper towel, and it is very, very sharp, so just be careful about that. As you can see, nice big chunky O-ring at the bottom here, so no leaking problems whatsoever, so that's definitely a plus. And the airflow. Now, this airflow here is adjustable. It's a little bit difficult to do it without the tank all put together, but it does have a little stopper, so you're not going to be able to just freely spin this all the way around, which is kind of a plus in my book because I like having some sort of resistance. So if you're not looking at your tank or something like that, you're doing it on the fly, you can just kind of adjust it and feel where it's going to be appropriate for you. And that is quad airflow as well. Just spin this piece around so you can see the holes there. And of course on the bottom, the lovely, lovely Council of Vapor engravings. And I'm not sure if that's a silver-plated 510 connection or what, but makes a good connection. I wouldn't recommend it on a hybrid mod or anything like that, but on a box mod it works great. So really, that's like one of the best things about these tanks is the really intricate kind of engravings on them. All right, so let's just quickly put the tank back together. Back off the camera a little bit. And we're going to do a size comparison with some of the similar tanks in the category. So very easy to put together, just like this, and then this, and there we go. It's all set. So we have our Defiant tank. We have our Mini Vengeance, as some people call it, or the Mini Volt tank, and the full-size Vengeance right there. They're all almost the same size. Diameter-wise, I feel like the Vengeance is a little bit on the bigger side. Not sure if there's actually a diameter difference to it, but either way, it's kind of a noticeable size difference there. Actually, we'll arrange them small, medium, and large. Basically, that's how it goes. This tank here, the one that comes with the mini volt, is definitely the smallest. It has the smallest profile. Then you have your average kind of 22 millimeter size tank here for the Defiant, and the full-size Vengeance has a little bit more of a stature to it. It is a little bit taller and a little bit bigger. So yeah, there's a pretty decent size comparison. Let's just do that real quick for you guys so you can see. But out of all these tanks, this one, the Defiant, looks the best on the mini volt. And it is compatible. You can use technically down to a 0.2 on the mini volt. However, it is recommended that you stay above 0.5. So these coils at 0.5, at 40 watts, which is the maximum here, do work together, but it is going to kill your battery just as fast as any other coil you put on it. So not the greatest choice, honestly. I really wish they would have had a higher resistance option, like maybe a 0.8 or something like that. Still slightly sub-ohm, but it's going to save your battery a little bit if you're using it around 25 to 30 watts. So that's what it looks like on the mini volt. Pretty nice in my opinion. And yeah, so let's go back to the main screen and we'll talk about this a little bit more. Alright guys, so that was the close-up section of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Now let's go over some of my thoughts on this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not I would purchase it for myself if I did not receive it for free for the purpose of this video. So first of all, the pros. It has amazing flavor recreation. So yes, just like in the description of this product, it does recreate your favorite flavors very accurately. So everything that you put in here is going to taste very true, and you're not going to get any sort of cottony taste or anything like that. There's really no break-in time for these coils. It's fill it up and you're good to go. Actually, I just filled it up with a brand new coil in it now, and right away my first hit was really clean. Can't go wrong with that, really, honestly. My next pro is going to be no dry hits or leaking. I've never had a dry hit with this thing. I've never had it leak. No problems there. I've literally been carrying this thing around in my pocket the past couple weeks, and I've had it sideways, I've had it vertical, I've had it upside down. It's been every which way, and no leaking problems whatsoever, and no dry hits as well. So every time I press that fire button, it wicks like a dream. Really no problems in that category at all. Of course, the price has to be mentioned. $29.99 MSRP on this thing is very reasonable. I think that's what every sub-ohm tank should pretty much go for nowadays, but unfortunately you got some people trying to get, you know, some extra money on certain tanks out there. But definitely Council Vapor offers a great product at a reasonable price. No denying that. My fourth pro is going to be that it has a pretty cool look. I have it right now on my RX200, the Rouleau, and I think it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty snazzy. Not a huge fan of the red O-rings on top. I wish they would have had a white O-rings or black O-rings or clear O-rings, but you know, maybe that's the only thing they had around or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just their aesthetic choice. But otherwise, I think it looks pretty cool. It's kind of a matte satin finish, and it looks great on the mini volt as well if you were to use it on there. My final pro is that it fits the Vengeance coils. Sorry, Vengeance coils. It does fit Vengeance coils. I haven't fired it with a Vengeance coil in there yet. I'm going to have to do a little bit of further testing on that, but I did thread it in, and it fits beautifully with a Vengeance coil in there. So for those of you that know, the Vengeance has 0.2 ohm coils, and I'm definitely going to be trying that out in maybe a future video or something like that. So that being said, let's move on to some cons. My first con is that there's no drip tip options. This is a metal drip tip, and that's all you get. It's threaded. It has to be used with this thing, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. The drip tip that comes with this tank has to be used, and I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like metal tips. I've never liked metal tips. For every one of my devices I use, you know, these acrylic drip tips. So not a huge fan of that. I wish you could, you know, maybe have an adapter or something. You could pop a 510 drip tip onto the top of this thing, but unfortunately that's not the case. So my second con is that the top airflow ring option is a pain in the butt to get out of the drip tip itself, and I find that it's almost useless. Really, I just don't think it's really necessary. Don't know why they have to add that option on there. And it's probably the worst out of any sub-ohm tank with top airflow I've ever seen. I mean, most of them, they have similar to the bottom airflow, kind of the control ring kind of thing. But this one here, it has an O-ring at the top. Not a big fan overall of that. So my fourth con is going to be that it kind of does caramelize your juice. I've noticed after about a few days using the same liquid in here, it got several shades darker and quite a bit thicker. So I'm not sure if that has to do with the actual coils themselves or what, but something on the function of this tank, I'm using it at 40 watts, which is actually the lower end of what it is capable of. You know, something in there is kind of cooking my juice and sending it back into my tank several shades darker, and I'm not a big fan of that. So finally, it takes forever to ramp up. This thing takes a good 2-3 seconds to actually get going, and I feel like that's a common thing with these kind of ceramic coils. I haven't tried any other ceramic coil device yet, so I really can't tell you for sure, but I have a feeling that that's going to be kind of the thing with these kind of type coils here. Another thing is that it definitely heats up a good amount, all the way up to the drip tip, all the way down the front side of my mod here. It definitely you can feel the heat on it, and I'm not a big fan of that because it kind of worries me that you know, something's going to go wrong with my mod or something like that. So just be aware of that. Not really for your chain vapor, but great in the car if you're puffing on it every now and then. However, I wouldn't recommend chain vaping on it too much because this thing definitely gets hot. And that's another reason why I don't like the metal drip tips, because they get really hot. So I'm not a big fan of that. Also worth mentioning is when I took out my previously used coil here, I noticed some discoloration on the bottom contact of the coil. Not sure what that's from exactly. I don't think any juice got that down there because it wasn't really wet or anything like that, but I'm not really sure what that's from. I'll probably include a picture or something in the video here over my face or something like that. But anyways, yeah, I'm not really sure what that comes from, but it does kind of concern me. So that being said, would I purchase this device if I did not receive it for free for the purpose of this video? Now, you know, there's a few other things worth mentioning, I guess. The fact that you can't get any other coils besides the 0.5 ohm, which kind of stinks. I wish they would have had a 0.8 ohm coil option so it would be more readily usable on the Mini Volt. I love my Mini Volt. I want to be using this more and more. Instead, I have it on top of this giant beast, the RX200. So I would really look for anything to put it on this Mini Volt that would make it work better and make the battery last longer. For instance, a higher resistance coil. But unfortunately, they're stuck with the standard 0.5 ohm coils. So not a big fan of that. I would have to say if it came with the Mini Volt kit and had a higher resistance coil with it as well as an option, I would definitely you know, be enjoying this tank a lot more. As a secondary tank to my Mini Volt, I would say skip it. As a standalone tank to go on your whatever sub-ohm, you know, device that you got going on, I would say it might be worth picking up just because it's a, you know, kind of a different system, and it is the ceramic coils, which are going to be the new biggest thing. Another, I guess, drawback would be that you can't re-wick this coil whatsoever. It's just, you know, one of those ones where you just toss it and you get a new coil for it. They do last quite a long time. I've had it for 2 weeks and I've been using the same coil for 2 weeks, so they do last a very long time, but there is cotton in these coils as well, so they're going to get gunked up eventually, especially if it starts caramelizing your juice, and you're going to have to throw out that coil, which I think if you're going to have a ceramic coil, you should have at least an option to re-wick it or something like that. So Honestly, not the biggest fan of this tank personally, but for those of you that want to experiment with something like a ceramic coil tank, I definitely would say give it a shot for the price range. Can't go wrong in that department. So that being said, that about does it for this video. Leave a comment in the box below of what you think of this device. Would you purchase it for yourself? Do you think ceramic coils are going to be the new big thing? Don't forget to like this video if you did enjoy, and subscribe for more. I'm uploading videos all the time, and all the support is really amazing, guys. We just hit 6,000 subs, so thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate the support, and I'm working on the final thing now for my big time giveaway. It's definitely going to be worth the wait, so stay tuned for that. It's definitely coming really, really soon. About to go to Florida, so peace out, guys. I will see you after the weekend. I'll be uploading stuff to my Instagram account, of course, so if you don't already follow me on there, make sure you do that now. Of course, the links are in the description. And follow me on Snapchat and Periscope at Daily Vape TV. I will be live broadcasting and doing my Snapchat story throughout my trip to Florida, so make sure you tune into that as well. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out spinfuel.com. I have all my videos up there, as well as Smoke and Joey and Spinfuel official videos. And as always, vape on.